let's look at a simple 2D array example. I'm going to create just a 3x3 array that's going to open up an input box, collect information, and then show it as is in the label. So how this works is we want to make it where it's 3x3. So we know those numbers right away, so we're going to go dim, and I'm going to call it names because we're going to make it string. 3 rows and 3 columns as string. And that's all we're going to say. 3 rows, 3 columns. And it's just saying bounds can be specified only from the top level array when initializing an array of arrays. It's okay. We'll take care of that here. Now, with this, what we do need is, this is one of the fundamental differences in Visual Basic to other languages, is that it uses a comma in between as opposed to 2 separate parentheses or brackets. But if we wanted to, then we could build a third dimension to it and just keep going. We're not going to get that complicated. Now, in order to get the information to each proper position, we have to use not one for loop, but 2 for loops. The first for loop will control which row we're on, and the second for loop will go through each column. So, for this, we're going to go for, we'll say row, so we can keep them separate, equals 0, 2, and then we can go and directly refer right to the array to keep us in check. And instead of using dot length, we use names dot, and we go up here to get upper bound. So this guarantees that we will stay within bounds. 0 is always associated with the row. So what number do you think would be associated with the column? If you guess 0, or if you guessed 1, you're correct. If you guessed 0, you're wrong. So the column again starts at 0 because our very first information is stored at 0, 0. But we run it to names.getUpperBound and set this to 1. So now what this will do is this will start at the first row, go through each column. When it reaches the end, say, okay, do we have another row? Yes, we do. And proceed forth through that. Just like this. So, for this, we said we were going to do an input box. So, we'll say names of row and column, because those are our controlling variables, controlling where we are at in the array. Names of row and column equal input box, and we'll say enter a name. As this stands right now, it will go through all 9 spots to enter a name. So I'm going to show you next how to print out that information and show you an example.